best intentions for his property and the entire valley. Gave us a lot of security entering into that transaction that ultimately we'd end up with a good product. So.
Yeah, and I'd say thank you for what you've done since. Things have been going pretty darn good.
Well, a lot of that's based, Bud, on the fact that you're so well respected in the Swan Valley that once you did a conservation easement to vital ground, it raised other landowners' comfort level about working with us.
Yeah, it wasn't without a few little flack. But we made it. I think it'll go now. It's people are afraid of it some, like you were locking it up again. But that's not what, I tell the folks that, that think it through though. Don't be careful, because you could sell something that you might need in the future. When you think that through, that's why in this property we have over in the Bitterroot, we're going to have to take a hard look at that and understand it a lot better than we do now, and that's what I'm doing. This, of course, here we lived on it for a long time, and I thought, well, this would be a piece of cake, but it wasn't. I'll tell you what happened. I started to work this plan. The plan goes something like this. First, if you're going to manage ecosystems, first you got to draw out the ecosystem. What's the different combinations of values that are out here. So that's not too hard, you can draw those out pretty well. But then the next thing is to describe the condition of this ecosystem, especially in relationship to the broader landscape analysis. So that's where it starts getting sticky, And I thought, well, I'll start simply on the pond ecosystem. They're obviously very different than the upland, and so that'll be a piece of cake. But I couldn't. I thought I could dry light that. I know the ponds and all about it, but I couldn't get going. I struggled with it for 2 or 3 days and didn't like what I was trying. I was trying to write it out, and so. But one day I went back up from the office for a cup of coffee, and I looked out on the pond, and God, then the light bulb went off. I gotta go look at it much more intensely than I ever looked before. That's what I gotta do. And then when I started that, it all fell together pretty good. And this next one, I hope I hold together long enough to write a good eco plan for the McFarland property, because this is the only one I ever did, is this one right here, because we didn't plan that way in my day in the forest, and still don't quite. We're a lot closer now than the forest was a lot closer now than it was then. But I wanted to do it myself so I could learn while I was doing it, and that's. After I got out, I spent about 2 days on that pond thing. Just looking at the pond, figuring out what I wanted to know, and all the setback zones you need to protect the pond. Got into little things like, you see so many ponds opened up, so the people want to see. You look down, see the ducks and all that. But gosh, we got thinking the true value of the pond. We ought to fix it so the moose and the animals, the muskrats and the beaver, have privacy. That's what we did here. So instead of opening it up to see everything, for us, we thought, well, we got 2 holes open near the cabin. We can look out and see a little bit, but the rest of it, we're trying to intensify